I'm here with Luzinski, former Phillies great. And before I ask you anything else, I want to hear how you got the nickname.
Well, it happened a long time ago in the minor leagues. It was given to me by a writer, and it's just something that stayed with me. I worked out in Chicago in 1968, and I was drafted that year, and one of the writers put it on me and kind of just stayed with me.
So did you like it? You like that nickname?
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Usually nicknames, you know, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're good, I guess, but it's just been something that stayed with me. Probably more people call me Bull than they do Greg.
Right. And, you know, Philly is one of the toughest towns in America to play for. A lot of people think it's, you know, unwanted criticism, and you got to bring them a title in 1980. What was it like to bring a title to a city that's so passionate about their sports?
I think you probably hit it right on the head. They're very passionate. I don't think it's that tough a place to play for. I think, you know, they expect you to go out there and, you know, hustle for them and try to play to the best of your ability. Obviously, being the first in Philadelphia history is a big thing.
Right.
You know, first World Series. I mean, since then, 08 team, you know, came along, but they've been far and few between, and hopefully we can continue to get to the playoffs and pick up a few more series wins.
Right. And you know, you ended your career, played a little DH. Was that different than when you? Is it different playing DH? You know, daily going out and saying, oh, well, there's a third out, I'll just grab my glove, and having to sit in the dugout, is that a little different?
Well, first of all, when you're a designated hitter, they expect you to be an offensive player.
Right.
So there's a little more pressure on you as far as putting numbers on the board. Yeah, it took me a little bit to get used to it. I think the American League at that time was probably a little bit different than it is now. The umpires now umpire in both leagues, and at that time it was American National League umpires, and there was no question the American League umpires called the higher pitch compared to National League, and it took some adjusting by not only the umpires to let them know that I knew the strike zone, but also to find out how they call their game.
Right, and did you even take a glove to the ballpark when you were DH?
Oh yeah, I had a glove.
Still warm up and everything?
Probably one of the unique things was in '83, we lost the Baltimore playoffs, but if we would have gone to the World Series, we would have played the Phillies, and I would have played first base.
Okay.
That would have been kind of interesting.
So looking back at your career, do you have any, you know, were there ever any pitchers that you just never wanted to see?
Well, it was a little bit different. You faced them more often than you do today. We faced teams in the East. You know, we played 3 different series at home, 3 different series away. On the West Coast, we play those teams. We'd go out there twice. We only do them one time. So you got to know pitchers better, and there were less teams, so you faced them more often. I'm sure some got my number, and I got their number, and some we were dead even. But I think probably one of the best I faced was Seaver. He's a Hall of Famer, so I guess you know, I got my hits, my RBIs off, but he also got me.
Right now, do you have any memorable home runs? Any ones that stick out more than the other?
Playoffs, you know, against Houston. You know, the first game, two-run homer that beat them. Always remember my first at bat in Yankee Stadium, hit a 2-run homer off of Jim Palmer in the All-Star game. So those are 2 memorable home runs for me.
What about the one off the Liberty Bell?
Well, that's I guess that'd be memorable too. But that was off Bert Hooton, who had thrown a no-hitter actually against us earlier in the year. And that same year I was able to go off the foul in center field at that time, and it was one of the furthest balls ever hit in Cincinnati. In the vet.
Right. Were you only person that ever did it?
Well, Stargell hit one a little bit further than they say, but I don't think so.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate your time. It's great.